Put your money intact, put your money intact. Invest and show that your money come back. Put your money intact, put your money intact. Invest and show that your money come back. Everybody say, one child, one youth, one tack. One child, one youth, one tack, 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 tack. Become financially free. Join the abundance community, diaspora city. Yeah, we got global accessibility. Your future, your currency. Everybody say, one child, one youth, one tack. One child, one youth, one tack, 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 tack. Become financially free. Join the abundance community, diaspora city. Contact our website or social media for more info. Everybody say, one child, one youth, one tack. One child, one youth, one tack, 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 tack.
All right, so well, let's move on. So without further ado, our trainer today is Mrs. Sandra Phillip-Cromwell. Originally from Trinidad, Sandra Phillip-Cromwell moved to the United States in 1988 and now resides in Atlanta, Georgia. A proud mother and wife, Sandra's career has evolved from working as a disaster recovery case manager to becoming a life insurance director. She holds a degree in business management, which laid the foundation for her transition into the financial sector. After leaving her role in disaster recovery, Sandra pursued her passion for helping others by obtaining a state-issued life insurance license. She's now licensed in several states and works tirelessly to provide financial solutions to individuals and families across the United States. As a life insurance director, Sandra is committed to educating underserved communities on the importance of financial literacy, empowering them to make informed decisions that will secure their financial futures. Sandra's mission is to break down barriers to financial education and ensure that everyone, regardless of background or circumstance, is educated on the importance of protecting their family's legacy. Sandra has access to the resources they need to thrive. With a deep dedication to service and a heart for her community, she continues to make an impact through her professional work and personal advocacy. Mrs. Sandra, it gives me much pleasure to welcome you to this platform and to thank you for agreeing to do this training for us. The floor is yours. Please let me know when you would like me to start sharing screen.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Delia. Good afternoon, everyone. I thank you guys. Thank you, Dr. Delia, for having me on this platform today and giving me the opportunity to share a little about, our finances and how we can manage it a little better. I'll put out a disclaimer right now saying to you guys that I am not a financial advisor. I'm an insurance agent. However, we deal with finances every day. That's what it's about, finances. And we actually help people to make wise choices. So I'm here today just to give a little bit of my knowledge and what I know that can help all of us. It's not for just people here in America, but it's for people everywhere. Some of the information will benefit everyone. Okay? So thank you again for having me. I have like two parts of this. The first part I'm going to use, it's called the 5 gotcha of money. You know how they said, oh, I got you. Okay? We show average, ordinary people like ourselves how to avoid losing money by this 5 gotcha of money. Okay? Loss, first thing, I'm just going to jump right into it, guys. We lose money every day, and we try to help people with loss, loss of money. There's a safe way to grow money and save effectively, but we got to know how to do that. Okay. We all live, our paycheck goes to our mortgage, our student loan, credit cards, and stuff like that. So money is going out, right? The first got you is lost. Money is going out of our hands every day. As fast as we get our paychecks, it's going out. Okay, some people have student loans, credit cards, different everything every day, every month payments that you have to make. The second gotcha of money that we call it is health care. Healthcare is the big reason why some people cannot go back out to work. So you see, we need that money, right? Extra money. This sets them back financially, causing them to use their savings to pay the medical costs. Guys, medical cost is very, very expensive. Depends on what it is. And sometimes we do have a savings. We save a lot of money, but the medical bills are so extremely high, it depletes these people. Consider health care for parents and children. It really will deplete you. If you have a sick parent or a sick child or somebody going through some kind of cancer or something like that, people must be covered in case unexpected health issue comes around. All right, and so that's the second gotcha is the health. Sometimes they got you. Taxation is the third one. Taxation. Look around. I don't know what other countries what it's like, but I know here it's very high. Everything is taxed highly. Everywhere you go, you have to pay tax. Your money, you got to pay tax on your work. You got to pay tax on it. When you get a large sum of money, you got to pay tax on it. Taxation is another one. Inflation process is up. So I get this back. I did not get paid. So as a nation, is that I would procrastinate where we need to really. Okay, so we call that procrastination. These are the 5 got you. It's lost as you pay out. You pay out every day. You pay out every month. Your healthcare can cause loss too. Those are the got yous. Taxation, inflation, and procrastination. We wait too long to do things that we need to do, to achieve the things we need to achieve. So Dr. Delia, can you put up the 5 points of money, please?
I'm about to.
Thank you.
Okay, let me get it. All right. Here you have it, Mrs. Sandra.
You guys can see that? I'm not sure if anybody can see it. The 5.
Yes. Yeah, I think they can. Can you all see it? Anybody?
Okay. Good. Okay, the 5 homes of money shows us how to have an income strategy, okay, for 2025 and ongoing. Because our money needs a home, TACC will be new money for us, okay? And therefore, we need new habits. This system is a good system that you can try. Let me give you an acronym for system, guys. System, save yourself time, energy, and money. System, it saves yourself time, energy, and money. SYSTEM. So you want a system that will help you with your money. So let me share a little bit with the 5 homes of money that I have here. I have to look them up because it's hard for me to see there. The first one is banks. Banks and bank accounts. We have CDs and credit card. We want to know, is your bank account, is the money in your bank account liquid? Is it liquid? Yes, it's liquid because that's money you have access to right away. You have money you can pull out of the bank that you just alter your savings right away. So that's a liquid. Is it safe? Yes, it's safe. It's safe up to $250,000 because it's protected by the FDIC. It's protected. The insurance company protects that money. Only up to $250,000 in the bank. That's as far as it goes. Anything above that, it's not protected. Okay, FDIC. You have in the bank, is it tax deductible? No. Is it a tax advantage? No. No tax advantages. Is there any growth with your money in the bank? No. It's not going to grow. It stays right there, as you put it. Next thing, I'll go into the stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. Is it liquid? Yes, you can get money out of it, but it goes up and down, your stocks. Is it safe? No, it's not safe because you can lose money in the stocks. When the market drops, you lose your money. And it takes a while to build back up. Is tax deductible? No. Is there a tax advantage? No, not really. And is there any growth? Yes, it grows. When the market is up, it grows, right? So we have something, I don't know about the other countries, but here in the United States, we have something called 401ks, IRAs, okay, qualified assets, that's what they are. Is it liquid? No, your 401k is not liquid. You cannot borrow out of that 401k until you're 59 and a half. You can borrow from it without getting taxed. You get tax on it, but you still can't take it out until you're 59 and a half. Or if you leave the job and you can roll it over. However, it's not liquid money. Is it safe? No, it's not safe because, again, as the market goes down, you do lose your money for 401k. Is it tax deductible? Yes. Okay. It has a ceiling, it goes up and down, but it's tax deductible. Is it a tax advantage on that? Yes, there is. Is there a growth? Yes, it grows. So everybody's coming into money and they want to do something. Everybody's thinking about real estate. The next one is real estate. Real estate is something a lot of people desire, but real estate is not liquid. The only way you can get liquid is if you sell that property, your real estate, or you refinance that property. Okay, and sometimes even trying to refinance the property, they will let you know, hey, you can do it or you can't do it. Depends on how much money you have in there. Depends on your equity and whatever. You still have a challenge with that. But so it's not liquid. You can't get quick money out of that. Is it safe? No, because anything can happen. It's not safe. Tax deductible? No. It depends. Look, wherever you live, depends on where you live. It depends on the demographic. It depends on that. You have to see how your taxes go there. Is it a tax advantage on it? Yes, there's a tax advantage on that real estate. Is there any growth? Yes, there's growth because you're gaining interest. You're gaining that you can equity in the home. Okay. There's one homes that is important, and that's my field. That's where I am. And this field is called life insurance. Life insurance, we define life insurance as life. You see, people, when they hear life insurance, they think about debt. They think about, hey, it's a debt savings for when I pass. But we have a different kind of life insurance, the one that you can live on while you're alive, And if it's structured properly, and that's what you ask your agent for, it has to be structured properly, where you can borrow out of it. Say you have a child that you want to send to college, you will be able to borrow out of this. These are the things that it does. You have the money you can purchase, put down for a home. There's a lot of things you can do if this life insurance is structured properly. But you have to ask for a specific kind of life insurance. Is it liquid? Yes, it's liquid because it grows interest, and you can borrow from that interest while you're alive, which is not taxable. You don't have to pay no taxes on it. You don't even have to pay it back if you don't choose to. It's your money growing interest. After a few years, you borrow off of that. Is it safe? It's safe. It is safe because you cannot tax the money. There's a code. The IRS put out the 7702 code and the 7723 code. They cannot tax us on the insurance money, so it's safe. It's there. It has as a tax deductible. No. Is there a tax advantage? There is tax advantage in there. And is there growth? Yes. Yes, no, because it's growing interest. You put that money in there, and you always have that money there for you to grow. So those are the 5 homes of money. What I want to show you guys another thing here that you need to know. Can you put up the other slide, please?
Is it one of the 5 homes or the pyramid?
I went through all 5 already.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. So I'll let you know when to put up. I'm sorry, I should have told you. So this here, guys, roughly 10% of Americans or people in the world, the most wealthy people, let's talk about America, have a different philosophy when it comes to money. When it comes to money, the wealthy people have a different philosophy, okay? This is how they do it. All right. They want the most secure foundation. So they first protect their foundation with life insurance. This is what they do first. A foundation is everything. If you're building a house, the foundation is everything. So with health, you have to have, with money, you have to have that foundation. And I'm going to show you why it's important. You have the first thing they think about, they have children, let's put a big part. That's how the Rockefellers make that money. Let's put a big insurance policy on them. But they have to have the right kind, have to be structured properly, the right kind, okay? The first thing they do is the life insurance they think about. That's why in the first slides that we show you, the score for life insurance was 4 out of 5. That's the scores at the bottom, okay? So that's why it's so high. The second thing they do that they create is a saving, the bank account. They put money in the bank account. Guess what? It is said that you really need to have at least 6 months worth of savings. This means if your monthly expense, every single thing that you add up is $5,000, you got to have 6 months times 5,000 in the bank. You're going to they actually put 6 months of savings in the bank. It's important to have that. Now, why? Because I told you before, your money in the bank is safe. Okay? So you can put it in the bank. However, it's not growing for you. It's not working for you like that. It's not growing, but you know it's there. Okay? And the third thing they do, they save for retirement. So most of them work and they do have a 401k, IRA, so they have a saving vehicle for the retirement. They have something put aside other than the bank account savings. They have the insurance policies, which is high for them, their wives, their children, whoever family member, mom and dad, make sure they're covered. And why they make sure they're covered is because anything happens, they don't have to dip into their savings. They don't have to dip into their other funds, but that grows and that's there and it's growing and you have asset money that's growing out of that, plus you still have the death benefit. So you can use that money for anything you want while you're alive. Say that let me give you a thing. The insurance covers, it covers, oh, you're the wrong one.
I did. I did. I need to stop. I'm sorry.
No,
My
it's okay.
thing just slipped. I'm gonna go back. I'm sorry. Let me
Yeah.
go back.
So the insurance covers if your loved one have Alzheimer's. They give them that money. That's, you have nurses, you have the healthcare providers that can take care of those people, and that's taken care for you. If you have somebody injured and they can't go to work, it takes care of it for you. These are the things, how they manage their money. That's why the wealthy put their money first in those kinds of policies. So if any life event happen, unfortunate life event happens, that money there covers that. Alzheimer's, dementia, sickness, disease, unfortunate accidents that you can't go back out and work for a while. All those things it covers. It covers all that stuff. If you cannot, if you are home, if you know, anything like that, any unfortunate thing. So they have that money. That's a cushion. Okay, it's a cushion, it's a backup. So you don't have to touch your savings in the bank. You don't have to touch other assets to pay. Because as I said in the 5 got yous, healthcare is one that really depletes people financial, bank and the finance, it depletes it. Okay, so 6 months of savings you need. And this is good for us kind of know, because we're gonna come into money, but we need to allocate our money into different places, into different avenues, the different vehicles. Okay, so we do have insurance. We have 6 months worth of savings. You can put more, but at least that amount you need. The third thing they do, they save for retirement, as I said. Okay, and that's a 401k. I'm not sure what all the other countries have on the job, what the job have. They have that saving there. That's another cushion. And once the foundation is protected and they are strong, they have a strong savings, they invest in real estate. Now, you invest in real estate after you got that money in there. You got your health, you got your 6 months or more in there. You got whatever 401k you have, and you put something into real estate. They invest in real estate. This is what they do. Finally, they invest in stocks because it's risky. So after they got everything, they may invest in the old stocks or whatever. Stocks is risky and it's not safe, but they take a chance if who wants to invest in stocks. Some people want to, some people don't want to, because it's important. So you don't lose money. So most people don't, but I have a lot of people that do invest in stuff. But that should not be the first thing you do, because if you lose your money, then you lose everything. Go ahead to the other one, please, Miss Delia, Dr. Delia. Yeah. Yes. So this is what 90% of our people do. This is 90%. The first one I gave you was 10% of the people, the wealthy people, their mindset, their philosophy, and their mentality is the first structure I gave you. This one is 90%. The first one was 10%. Hear that? 90% of people, they live from paycheck to paycheck, literally. And some of them grumble by making unwise investment. They grumble and they make unwise investment. They buy things they don't really need. They don't need or overspend where they could save. Everything you have, you need to take a little bit of it. If it's 5 cents, a little bit of it and put it down. Whatever you put down, you have to say, that's not mine. It's not mine. You put it away, everything. Because we buy stuff that we don't need and we really, it's not necessary. Okay, so that's 90% of people. They go into real estate before having a savings. As I told you before, the wealthy, they have their savings at least 6 months put down. then they have their other investments, and then they go into real estate. People may say, well, I need to buy my real estate first. No, but what if something happened? Now, when you buy a piece of real estate, you may not go into right away. You might have to fix something. You might have to, you don't know what's going to come, what that home has that wasn't done properly. You might need to put out some money and all that stuff. You already put out so much money in buying a piece of real estate. You now need to know you have money there for backup. You have money to pay guys to come in and fix things. You got money in case, But 90% of people buy real estate without having a capital, without having extra money to use should in case something happen. The third one here, it's the what? They don't invest enough in qualified plans, if they do at all. Okay, so the first thing you want to, you see here, the pyramid show, the first thing on top, is your stocks. The first thing they want to do is go in stocks. They want to do real estate. They want the qualified plans. The last thing they do here, look at this. Number 4, after real estate, they start saving money. That's the fourth thing they do. After buying the real estate, you start saving money. You got to save money before you purchase the real estate. You have to have the money before you purchase real estate. And then you don't have enough money after you purchase that real estate. So those are the mistakes that 90% of people make. They buy a home and then they realize, I've got to go get a second job. They don't have enough money. And finally, then they think about life insurance. Why? Because of the stress of the world. Because the family is stressed out. They're stressed out. They're like, oh my gosh, if something happened to me, what would I do? Yeah, I have to go do a GoFundMe or whatever, So then they think about getting life insurance and they want the cheapest, smallest life insurance. So this is what 90% of our people do. And we don't want to fall in that category at all. We really, really want to look at the wealthy, their philosophy and how they do it, so we can pattern after them and we can actually grow. We have to have a solid foundation. This triangle here is upside down. The last thing they do is to secure themselves and family here with the life insurance. That's the last thing they do. When that should have been the first thing they should have done, by securing themselves with life insurance for them and their family, should in case something happen, then they still don't, they wouldn't deplete what the other money they have, So these are the ones that we have to be very concerned about. There's a lot of people that they may not make enough money, but it's important to save. It's important to get some kind of life insurance, but you have to get something called maybe IULs, or those are the ones that have the interest, money interest growing for you that you can borrow from. You can speak with the agents if you have. As I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but I am an agent, a director in the company, and we see it all the time. But the wealthy really knows how to set up themselves. Necessarily, we see it every day. They set themselves up, so they use that money for any unforeseen situation. And that's money that the government cannot touch. That's money that cannot be taxed. And you can borrow that money, you can pay it back if you want or not. So it's not that money. It's not money that if you borrow it, they are behind you to pay this money back every month. So it's a great way to save. It's a savings within a policy. So that's something to really think about. As I said before, TACC, all of us in TACC here, is going to be coming into some amazing amount of money. Although it's a lot of money, don't tell yourself, hey, I got a lot of money. Money can go fast if we don't know how to spend it, if we don't know how to use it, if we don't put it in the right place. And you want your money to make more money for you. You want your money to grow for you. You want your money to you want to leave a legacy for your children's children. So if you just deplete all what you have, then nobody knows how long they have on earth. Only God knows the day, the time, and the hour we are going to transition, right? So we need to have, sometimes people live long. We need to have enough money to take care of our needs. We need to have enough money to take care of our health as we get older. And that's what these are about. All right. I think that's the end of my presentation. Thank you so much.
That was fantastic. Let me stop sharing my screen. And I think.
Let me start recording.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Carr. Thank you. Okay. Mrs. Sandra, thank you. What a fantastic presentation. The 5 gotchas of money and the 5 homes of money. I had my paper and pen and I took so many notes. Okay, so the floor is open for questions and or comments. So if you have a question, just unmute and ask. I do have a question, Mrs. Sandra. 3 questions. One of them is a clarifying one. The first one, you spoke about the 6 months of savings. Would that 6 months be 6 months of what you earn or 6 months of your regular expenses? So I look at my expenses every month and I multiply by 6, or do I look at my salary every month and multiply by 6?
Well, literally, they said whatever it's your monthly expenses, you know what it is. So if say you lost your job and you don't have any other money coming in from anywhere, you can't manage. You want to at least have that money for at least 6 months that you can take care of your affairs, right? Everything. So I normally it's 6 months of your, most people do 6 months of their monthly expenses. Say it's $5,000 monthly totally, but it's wiser to have 6 months of your salary, what's coming in, what you're bringing in, 6 months worth, of that. It's wiser to have that, but if you cannot do that, you got to make sure you have 6 months worth of your monthly expenses, meaning your highest what you pay every month. Literally from down to your snacks, everything. 6 months, anything you buy, anything, 6 months worth of that. At least it will be able to carry you through. And most people will take a few months probably to obtain another job or find another way to get on their feet, if it's through a business or whatever. So that it's a wise thing to do. Most people cannot do the 6 months worth of salary, but if you can't, you want 6 months worth of your monthly expense. So yes,
Thank you,
and that will help. It helps a great deal because then you're a little more less stressed, when life happens.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Sandra. Any other questions?
Madam Doctor, yes, good evening, and thank you very much for that presentation. TACC is indeed a university. I have a few questions. You spoke of, I think somebody need to mute themselves. I'm not too sure. They're giving a feedback. I hope it's not me. Okay. Now it's okay. All right.
Okay.
So you spoke about a specific type of insurance that one need to ask for that will provide the very things that you're now explaining in terms of protecting, saving, borrowing, and enjoying life, because as you said, which is true, when we are looking at life insurance, and I think is the only one that they have given us in the Caribbean and out of the America, a death sentence, and it only can spend when you die. So what is the name of the specific insurance to which you refer? That's number one. Number two, can it be found outside of the US, or can people outside of the US access that insurance? And number three, what is the average cost, and what affect the cost? Is it the younger person? Is it the older person? Is it person with disability? And so, I know you're not giving advice, but these are questions I believe that the TACC will have in mind. And what's the average number of persons normally, the average price in US dollars, and of course, how if people want to access it from outside of the United States, or is just internally. Thank you very much.
Wow, you had a lot of questions here. I think I got 3 of them. Hold on, let me see. The first one, what's the name? Well, we here call it an IUL, which is an Index Universal Life Insurance. Index Universal Life Insurance allows you to have a policy with a built-in interest growing. The interest grows as your policy should say. You pay monthly or however you choose to, and the interest grow. It have some of the whole life policies does that as well. We also have something called annuity, where you can put, I didn't mention that, where you can put a lump sum of money. So if you have you want to put 50,000, 10,000, whatever, a lump sum of money you can put into an annuity where it sits there and grow, and that's a retirement vehicles. It sits there and grow, and you can say, when I reach to this age, this is what I want to live on. So we have the IUL, we have whole life, we have annuities. Those are things that vehicles you can use. And when you approaching your agent, you ask them for those are the ones you want to ask for. And they have to be able to structure that in a way that you will grow. Tell them you need it to grow for you. You want increase. You want your interest in there. You want the interest to grow in there for you, which is yours. Now, the bank is the biggest. They buy insurance. They buy into insurance a lot. Your money in the bank is growing. It's the same way. However, the interest that the bank makes, they don't give it to you. Banks invest in life insurance. They don't give it to you. They keep that. That's how banks survive. And they work with your money. They take your money and they invest it in credit cards and insurance and all that stuff. And that interest, they hold on to that. Whenever you're ready for your money, you get exactly what you put in. Okay? I just wanted to throw that in there. So the second question was people outside the U.S. People outside the U.S. can get that benefit from that as well. However, you have to have a U.S. address. You have to have a U.S. address to be able to get that kind of insurance. Okay. Also, the cost, it fluctuates. Cost is different. Depends on what you want, how much you want your insurance policy for. So it's no specific cost. You want to know what you say. I want a death benefit for. I want $5,000, $1 million death benefit, whatever. Depends on the cost, and of course, the insurance company looks at your health and what's going on with you, and then they would know how to rate you, and they would know what it works out the cost for you. They do the math. The other thing is, it's not just for elderly people. It's from the time you have a child. You have that baby and you put that insurance policy on your baby. By the time your baby is college age, they have enough money to pay for their college. Or as they get older, they have enough money to put down a down payment on a house, or even buy a house. So it's any age from beginning. I think you can go up to age. Is it 80 or or 75. And then after that, you're looking at final expense. The older the person is in the 80s and stuff, they will give them something called final expense. Okay, so comes from the time the child is born, you can start looking into having a policy for them. And that is a very good thing. They will grow up knowing they have some money sitting there. While they're growing up, their money is growing for them. I think I missed one of the questions. What is that? All the questions you had?
Yes. That's the question. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Doc, I would just say that I think in Antigua, I'm familiar with the whole life policies as an option. And I think we might have the annuity as well, but I would have to verify that.
Great. So you guys can take advantage of that. It's a great vehicle. Trust me, because things happen unexpectedly. Or, as I said, it's money you can borrow. You don't have to when you go to the bank to borrow money, they tell you if you can borrow your own money. They tell you if you can borrow money. You got to apply, you got to have good credit, all these things. So when you're in insurance, you don't have to have good credit. You don't have to apply all that stuff because that's your money. You just can borrow from it. And borrow, when you say borrow in the IUL, borrow, you're borrowing from yourself. And this is the reason why you don't have to pay it back, but you could pay it back.
And Mrs. Sandra, so there is term life insurance versus, do they call it permanent life insurance?
Well, term life.
In your view, which one is better?
Well, the term life, hold on, is exactly what it says, term. Term life means term. It's just for a term, for a certain amount of time. And after that time is up, you gotta have to renew. And term life, you don't get a cash value out of a term life. You get a cash value out of the IUL or the whole life. So term due, time out. If they give you 10 years, 15 years, 30 years, whatever, after a while, you don't have it anymore and you have to renew, So that's the difference.
Okay.
And it's a cheaper policy in a term.
Any more questions, anybody?
I have a
It's
question.
Vivia here. Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Miss Vivia.
Good evening, everyone. I'm speaking from the UK. I understand the concepts that's been shared in terms of the whole issue around term and whole of life, etc. I don't think in the UK we have the option for annuity. It's either we take out term insurance or whole of life. And so, yeah, there's a balance between what do? Do you take out term and invest where you can in a high interest fund where you can yield some money, or do a balance of term and whole of life? But I don't think we have the same in the US in terms of that annuity.
Well, I would say you check with your agent and see the whole life what they offer. If, as I said, I index universal life. You can write that down. Index universal life. You can check and see what they have that will give you growth, money growing that you can borrow from, money growing that's still in there as it's your money. The term definitely, as I said, I know I hear it. You don't have it. There's no growth. There's no money growing in there for you. It's just a life insurance policy. So you don't want just a life insurance policy. You want to have something that's growing that they will not be taxed on, because our IULs are not taxed. IRS cannot touch your money, no matter what. You put that money in there. And this is how some people with a lot of money are able to protect that money without the government taxing and touching. You know, they put it in there and it stays and it grows and it grows and it grows. Okay? So by law, they cannot tax that insurance money. So you can find out what they have there that you can put money in and it just grows for you as it sits there. I'm not sure what it's called in the UK, but I can tell you the term here, there's no growth in a term insurance here. It's just a term insurance. You have that, and it times out after a while, depends on how many years you have it for. And after that, you have to renew it. Depends on your age. You may not be able to renew it if it's very old, you know. So let's see. That's about it. You can just find out. It's good to find out and know, because some of the money that we have, we can actually put it into insurance and let it just sit there. Just let it sit there while you do other things with the other money that you have that's coming in.
Mr. Carr?
Yes. So I have two questions. The first one, I'm familiar with a policy we had locally in Antigua. It was termed Endowment 75. That's a policy that you pay into until you reach a certain age, and then you get a lump sum. But of course, you have to make monthly payments until you get to that age. I don't know, what do you think about such a policy? And the second question, is there any life insurance policies that you pay and after a while you earn equity enough that you can borrow against, but then it affects perhaps your payout amount if you were to die and not pay it back in time? I don't know if there's such a policy. Those are my two questions.
Well, let's see. If you have what we call IUL, and you have interest growing in it, and you borrow from that policy, right? Let's see. Say you have. Let me use a small figure. You said you have $500 is the policy, and you got $300. Well, let's say your life policy is $500. As it grow, you get $300 interest growth in there so far. So it will show you have $800. If you borrow the interest, which is $300, then you have that $500 that your policy is supposed to be, your debt policy is, right? So you borrow that $300, you don't have to pay it back. If you pay it back, then it will go back up to the $800. By the way, it doesn't stop growing. It keeps growing. It keeps growing. You know, it grows all the time. It never stops growing. So I'm not sure if that answered the question. You don't have to pay it back. You don't get penalized on it.
Yes, it does. And the second question?
Yes. What's the second question?
The policy that you pay into until you reach a certain age, and then you get a lump sum.
Okay, so you mean well, the one I know of here is the annuity. You can pay a lump sum of money into that, or you can pay monthly, you know, if you want. And when you reach a certain age, you can tell them at this age, I want this amount every month, or you reach a certain age, you just take it out. That's the one I know of. So I'm not sure what yours is called. What is it called?
The one I'm familiar with is Endowment 75. The thing is, you can't take it out before you get to that age.
Right, right.
Almost
okay. It's like a 401k. You can't take that out until you get to 59 and a half. You can, but yes, I know what you're talking about. Something like that. It's similar. Yes, you cannot take it out until you get to that age. It's just yeah.
Okay. Any more questions? Anybody? Okay. All right, no more questions. Mrs. Sandra, this was just phenomenal. I really want to thank you. That's a wealth of information. And if anybody has any questions for you, maybe they may not think of it right now. So just put those questions in the forum, and we will be sure to get them to Mrs. Sandra so that she can answer them for you.
Put your money in tack, put your money in tack, invest and show that your money come back. Put your money in tack, put your money in tack, invest and show that your money come back. Everybody say, one child, one youth, one tack, one child, one youth, one tack, 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 tack. Become financially free, join the abundance community, diaspora city. Yeah, we got global accessibility, your future, your currency. Everybody say, one child, one youth, one tack, one child, one youth, one tack, 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 tack. Become financially free. Join the Abundance Community Diaspora City. Contact our website or social media for more info. Everybody say, one child, one youth, one tack, one child, one youth, one tack.